Hello everyone, this is In-Game Arts. We're doing another box of a breakdown of the demo. This is Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger X for the PlayStation 4. Now this physical copy comes with the update version 1.02 on disc, as well as it comes with the bonus DLC outfit for the female protagonist in the game. Sadly though, there was a pretty good size update. This update size was 350 megabytes big and will take you to version 1.04. Which you can pretty much see everything that's been done to that update. It's basically like giving a little bit more features of DLC as well as some more language support and just bug fixes and so forth. So sadly, it's not a complete physical copy of the Gunvolt Chronicles. Now, if you're new to it, Gunvolt Chronicles is kind of like a new inspirational idea for Mega Man. And it takes place with the typical style of Mega Man. Now, the story takes place where you're the Minos, and there's another people that become higher forms of people, and basically the Minos, which is pretty much humans, are being hunted down and wiped out, and that the newer species are going to be ruling. It's pretty much the quick summaries of the story. Now you play as X, which is on a quest of vengeance and trying to save what little humanity are left. Not the most original story, but it's just a story to work with. Now, the overall experience of the game is a pretty more fast-paced, more quicker-based kind of Mega Man style, but everything is fundamentally still strongly the same as Mega Man. You go through a level in a 2D platform style, you fight enemies, you blaster and so forth, climb up wall. It's more like Mega Man X, probably, I should say, instead of just Mega Man in general. But you fight bosses, you get to choose which mission you want to go through. Each boss you defeat, you will be able to get their power. Now, the game has an in-game currency you can build up and allow you to unlock more little abilities for the character, like more bullets as well as more other functions, like increasing his lock-on and so forth. It's got a lot of little other things, as well as making the game even more difficult if you so choose to spend points in that area. But other than that, it's not the most interesting game. I will have to be personally blunt with you. It's alright, but it's at the end of the day, I felt like I just rather just been playing a Mega Man game than this. It has some aspects that are really cool. I think the sprite graphics did a really good job, and I like the idea of the speed movement, as well as that you are like immune unless you get hit too many times, and your bullets cannot protect you anymore, and then you gotta reload. I think some of these ideas are really neat. But some of the things I think they really needed to fix was, A, the game screen is too close. For the game is supposed to focus on a high-speed combo kind of setup where you're constantly dashing in the air, hit the next person, lock on a target on them, move to the next person, hit the next target. This is great if you already know where things are, but when you're first going through it, you're being very cautious. And it kind of defeats the purpose of its high-speed focus when then you don't know where the enemy is, and sometimes since the camera's so close, you can't see them coming. So they really need to pull the camera back. That would have been very helpful. And I like the high-speed idea, and dashing uses up a bullet. I get the concept of it, but since you're focused on so much of a high speed, it's very aggravating when I'm trying to dash, and this time I'm not looking at my bullets, and I realize that I'm out and I can't dash. I felt like this was a little bit of a hindrance of their design, as you're trying to focus on a high speed, but yet you get like a penalty system, or you're not paying. It was interrupting its flow of its high speed. I think some of its ideas are neat. They had so many things going against it. So, also, oddly enough, none of the really characters were ultimately interesting. Not even X or the main female protagonist in the game. But the villains or the bosses actually seemed quite interesting, and sadly they didn't get a good in-depth story about them. I actually wanted to learn more about the boss enemies than actually the main story or the main character. The game isn't ultimately that difficult. I think it was by design that way. When you first play it, it's actually pretty simple and straightforward, and it's pretty hard not to go through the game without dying. I rarely ever died, other than the main boss at the end. But once you do beat it, you unlock special missions that are harder versions of the same missions you were just doing, just now with more enemies. Bosses have, you're a little bit more stronger and have a little bit more vulnerability to certain weaponry. It does add a little bit more challenge, but at the end of the day, I didn't really care to run through these special missions. The game had some neat ideas and designs, but some things were just holding it back. And on that note, I want to point out, this is happening a lot lately with Japanese games I've been playing lately, and that's where they have the game just littered with explosions and effects going on the screen. I get that it's really cool that we can do that in gaming nowadays, but some of it's really getting very, just annoying to see so many flashing lights, and I've even had headaches and just eye irritation because so much of the flashy lights going on. Mostly this consists of the very last boss. I had the most issue, but some of the boss fights, there's so much flashing in the thing. There's lots of flashing in the game and lots of colors that it's really quickly you can lose track of what's going on where you're at. I know that some people probably really like this game, and I'm not going to say knock it down that it doesn't got some neat aspects to it, but if you're somebody who's working with maybe a little bit of money, or you're just looking for something to play as Mega Man or any kind of form, this game is neat, but it's not going to really satisfy you in that department. You might as well just go pick up regular Mega Man or Mega Man X, and now we're going to get Mega Man Zero here soon as well. So, like always, I will leave links down in the description if you're an instant copy. For the most part, I say look into it, but I wouldn't go out of your way to get a copy or spend big buku bucks to get a copy. Because at the end of the day, it's just, and I didn't really find it all that interesting, but it may be just to me, because I'm maybe just a little burnt out on certain aspects of Japanese-oriented games and their story and just some of their aspects of their design and their games. Now, I'm not necessarily saying they're bad designs, it's just maybe maybe my age is starting to get to me, and my eyes and just the time with the games are just not the same as I used to be. For personally me, if this is something you love and do like to play and everything, have at it. But for me, this is going to definitely be putting on my back burner. I probably won't be picking it up anytime soon. I beat it, and I'm done. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next unboxing video. Bye-bye!